How does virtual dog training work? The great thing with virtual dog training is that it can be done anywhere. It does not matter whether you live in Florida, in New York, in Washington State, in Texas. Doesn't matter. It can be done anywhere. I instruct you live via Zoom on what and how to do with your dog, and we exchange real-time feedback. It doesn't differ much from in-person training, in the sense that you still have to work with your dog and you have to handle your dog. You also get the same instruction. Nothing changes there. The principles are the same. The training is the same. The only difference is that I'm not there in the room with you. So you don't have to travel anywhere to take your dog to any classes. You don't have to travel to another state to get your dog trained. And so it is in the convenience of your home. And you get the chance to review the session as you get links to the session itself, so you can watch it over and over. So in case you think you missed something, you can go back to it. To make it easier for you, I sometimes demonstrate what I need you to do with one of my dogs or my assistant Klaus, where I can show you where to put the hand with the food in relation to the dog and which direction to move it in and so forth. If you would like to see what that looks like, check out the behind the scenes footage of a virtual session below. Another great advantage of virtual sessions is that you get the same experience, you get the same instruction as an in-person session, but the influence I as a trainer have over your dog by mere presence is not there. Let me explain. When we do in-person sessions, we have an influence over the dog quite naturally, because dogs recognize leaders, and so they behave a little different. It could be that the dog is more aggressive, it could be that the dog is more submissive. It depends on the dog and the genetic makeup of the dog. However, that influence is there, undoubtedly. So if you practice with your dog without the trainer present, your dog will behave differently. And it's oftentimes confusing to dog owners as to why that is happening. And it can be a little bit frustrating. In virtual sessions, that is not an issue, because the influence was never there to begin with. So whatever you achieve with your dog is your doing. You are creating this obedient dog. You develop that working relationship with your dog. You create that loose leash walking, the obedience, the good behavior in the house, the good behavior outside of the house. You do all of that. You create all of that. Now for some frequently asked questions. How many virtual training sessions does it take to train my dog? Well, that depends on the genetics of your dog, the bond that you have with your dog, and how much you practice with your dog. How frequently should I do virtual consultations? I recommend doing consultations once a week, because one, it keeps a flow, and two, we can catch any mistakes that are being made and you practicing with your dog early enough before they become a habit for the dog. How old does my dog have to be before starting virtual consultations? Your dog can start from 8 weeks onwards. Because you're not taking the dog out anywhere, you can start training your puppy before it has all the vaccinations, because it's not really going anywhere. It's in the comfort of your home. This is an important aspect of training, because there is a phase in your puppy's development called imprinting. And during that time, it's the easiest point to teach engagement, which you need later for training for the dog to want to work with you, as well as instill basic behaviors that you want for the rest of the dog's life. It is easier to do it in an imprinting where the dog just picks it up naturally than having to teach it later. Can an older dog still be trained? Short answer is yes. And that's what virtual training is and how it works.